What's up, guys? It is your girl Serena Renee, and I'm back with another YouTube video. And today I'm going to be talking about ways I have told my teachers about my anxiety and ways you can tell your teachers about anxiety. So in my last video where I talked about anxiety, if you haven't seen it, go check it out now. I talked about how I told my teacher and how I found out I had anxiety. And a lot of people were like, how'd you do that? Did you just go up and tell him? Because I didn't really go into full detail about how I told my teacher. So after my whole anxiety attack, it took me 2 months to finally get the courage to actually talk to my teacher and tell him, hey, look, I need help. So pretty much one day I got the courage. It was 6 o'clock at night. I emailed my teacher. I was like, hey, look, Mr. Dominguez, can we talk during lunch sometime and talk about my anxiety in your class? He was like, sure. And next couple, I don't know, he told me 2 or 3 days. I don't really know. 2 or 3 days. He was like, we can talk about it when I have a free lunch period. I was like, cool. So everyone goes to lunch. He's sitting at his desk table thingy. He's sitting right there. I'm sitting right here. So he's sitting behind it and I'm sitting in the front. Okay. And then he is so you want to talk to me? And I explain hey, look, I get anxious when you call on me when I don't know, when I don't feel comfortable with the lesson. I get anxious when I'm around a lot of people I don't know, or it gets too loud. I don't like working with the same people. Even though I get anxious, I don't always want to work with the same people. I still want to mingle around, and if I don't feel comfortable, I feel I should tell you about it instead of you just assuming oh, I want to work with so and so. So we talked about it. We came to common ground, and he was like, all right, I can do that. That's simple stuff. You're not asking me a whole bunch of things. I'm not changing my whole classroom around you, so that's pretty good. He was like, hey, look, we're gonna come up with a thumbs up rule. So if you feel you want to answer the question, just thumbs it up, and if not, thumbs down. And I was like, that's easy enough, because no one gonna see my thumb. I'm not gonna be I'm just gonna be thumbs up, thumbs down. Literally, no one will look at it. So perfect. So then I'm not being humiliated. I mean, I'm not saying he purposely humiliated me, because that is not the case at all. But it was just the feeling of humiliation, not him purposely humiliating me. So I was all right, thumbs up, thumbs down. He told me hey, look, if you don't feel comfortable with the people I put you around, just let me know and I can always switch it around. And he also made it clear if you ever need something in my class that I'm not doing because I'm not in your head, I don't know, your anxiety, you can talk to me. And I think that's the number one thing that helped me with anxiety, in his class. I'm not saying with my whole life, but in his class, it helped me because I know, okay, if I feel a certain way or if I have a question, I can just go up to this teacher. My anxiety might be oh, you don't want to ask. But I know, deep down, when I get past anxiety, get past the fear, that I can go to this teacher and be hey, look, this isn't working for me. Can we do A, B, and C? Or, hey, look, So that's how I told my teacher. But I'm going to be talking about ways you can tell your teacher. So you can do that and email your teacher and schedule an appointment. But if you have really, really bad anxiety about talking to teachers, and the only reason why I didn't get that bad of anxiety about talking to this teacher was because he already saw me have a panic attack. There's nothing worse else he could see, I guess. So I kind of got comfortable with it. I was just whatever. But here's another way you can tell your teacher. So I made this little thing, and I came up with this on my own. I mean, I don't know if other people have done this, but I did this on my own. And I named the paper My Anxiety, and I kind of decorated it and had little colors. And I pretty much wrote out things that help me when I'm having anxiety. So I wrote things that help me, and I wrote a list of things that help me. And then I wrote things that happen when I'm having anxiety, things that happen to me. And then I wrote things that happen and feelings that I have physically. So I'm wrote that, and I have my thoughts. So things that help me that I wrote is breathing, taking a break, talking to someone about it, either a teacher, counselor, asking for help, sitting by someone I know, explaining things to me, because sometimes I get anxiety because I don't understand what I'm doing. Listening to music. And I know people are oh, that might just be an excuse because you want to listen to music in class, but listening to certain songs actually calm me. I'm not even kidding. Counting, drawing/doodling, looking around, telling my teacher, getting up and moving around, and feeling things. Okay? So feeling things, let me just give an example. So I have this teacher, the same teacher I told, so Mr. Dominguez, and one time I was having really bad anxiety, and he gave me this bear. Okay, hold on. It's I don't know if it's a bear. Well, no, it's not a bear. It's a sloth, but it's a stuffed animal. It's this size, maybe a little bit bigger, and it's fluffy. And every time I'm feeling anxious, he just hands it to me, and I just kind of sit there and I touch it. This sounds really weird, but I don't know. I just sit there and I'm this because it's I'm focusing and I'm still like dealing with my anxiety at the same time. Like I can focus because my hands and my body's doing something while I'm focusing on whatever the teacher's telling me. Like feeling things has helped me. Like I play with like my pants, like this part of my pants. But those are things that have helped me. So yeah, you can write a list of things that cause your anxiety and hand it to your teacher. Like, hey, look, I like you don't even have to talk. You can just be like, you write on the paper, I have anxiety talking to you, and I just want to tell you things that happen to me when I have anxiety. Hand them the paper. They can help you. If you have a school counselor, that another thing too. So I guess that was number 1. Make a list and give it to your teacher. Number 2. Talk to your school counselor, and then you could just have your school counselor, if you feel comfortable talking to your school counselor, and you can just have your school counselor email your parent. I mean, not your parents, because your parents should already know that, but email your other teachers. So I did this last year. Okay, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of telling your teachers about this. Oh, well, the pros and cons that happen to me. I'm not going to say this is going to happen to you, so don't get anxiety over it. But pros, your teachers will know. They will help adjust the classroom for you. They will let you like go to the bathroom or something when you're feeling anxious. They won't like ask you too many questions, and they won't press you about it. Okay, but this was the cons for me. Cons were when my counselor told my teachers, like a lot of my teachers were cool, like my Spanish teacher, Ms. Dominguez, cool. You know, other teachers were okay, but some teachers were treating me like I was really slow. They were like, okay, honey, so like, do you understand? Like, are you getting nervous about me talking to you? Like, do you want extra help? Like, you can go get water and call your mommy. And I'm like, that doesn't help. Like, don't treat me like I'm slow. And then a lot of those same teachers would just put me in the back of the classroom. They're like, you can just leave whenever you want. We don't care if you do work. Like, we won't call on you. And it didn't help me because they weren't calling on me. They weren't helping me with anything. They were just doing the same old, like, same stuff, same thing all the time. And it didn't help. And number 3, another way you can tell your teacher is by straight out being like, have a straight up conversation. Like I explained at the beginning of this video how I had a conversation. I was just like, hey, look, I'm having anxiety. Help me. I talked about it and I got help. Number 4, go to your doctor and talk about your anxiety with them, and then they can like give you a prescription you can take to your school, and they'll just already know, and then they'll let your teachers know. Number 5. When you're getting anxiety, just like go up to your teacher and just say, hey, look, I'm like having really bad anxiety. Can I like go to the bathroom? They won't even probably ask you like, oh, what's your anxiety? I mean, unless you have like really rude teachers like that, but I never have. Like I've gone up to my Spanish teacher and just been like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Like I never told him why, but I was like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And he just gets it and he's like, sure. Or, hey, can you like help me? Okay, I think I'm on like 7. Yeah, okay, 7. Get like a stress ball or something. Like stress balls help, okay? Like something to like you can like focus your mind on while you're like doing something. Or a fidget spinner. Like fidget spinners, they like became a joke and like a meme thing, but fidget spinners actually help with anxiety. Like, hold on, let me close this door because my sister's rude and doesn't know how to close the door back. But yeah, like get one of those. Okay, number 8, I think. I don't know, I'm done counting. I'm just gonna say 8. Number 8. Think of a system with your teachers. Like, if you can think of a system, like, think of a system on how you can cope. Like, be like, hey, look, these are things that make me anxious, you know? These are things that have helped me, and these are things that I think we should do. Like, let me go to the bathroom when I need to. Like, I'm not trying to get out of class, but it's just too overbearing. Let me take a little walk. Let me get a little air. Like, think of ways you can make a whole thing. Another way you can tell your teacher about your anxiety is having your parents email. If you're too scared and you don't want to have the conversation and you just want them to know, you could just be a third party and let your mom tell your teacher, your dad tell your teacher, Aunt, Uncle Bear, I don't care. Just let them tell your teacher and be like, hey, look, I'm having really bad anxiety. Like, please help me. Simple, easy as that. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoy 10 ways you can tell your teachers about your anxiety. Also, I just want to thank everyone who has been my teacher and has helped me. And I want to thank everyone for watching my videos and supporting me. Love you guys. Bye.